Hello, my name is Sean Perriman, and in this tutorial we'll be learning about the field handle. Now, with the field handle is a special copy and paste method that allows users to fill a series of text labels, numbers, combination of text labels and numbers, special fields such as dates, months, days of the week, quarters, etc., and functions. Also, based upon these tasks that you want to perform with the use of the field handle, Excel can copy the data from an established cell reference to an ending cell reference. Also, it recognizes and fill in a pattern or series from a group of established cell references to the ending cell reference. Now, in addition to the fill handle, Excel uses a feature that's called the auto fill option, which allows you to copy cells, fill series, fill formatting only, fill without formatting, and flash fill. And lastly, the fill handle can also autofill going vertically or going from up and down, or it can go horizontally from left to right. So in this established example, we're going to use the fill handle going vertically or going up and down. So what I need to do is select the established cell reference, in this case A1, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the fill handle to copy and paste the established information in the cell reference, and we're going to we're going to copy it all the way down to A13. Now, as you can see, the reason why I know that the established cell reference is established is because column A, row number 1 is selected, as well as we can see that that cell reference is in our name box. So as you can see, there is a green border around this particular established cell reference. And not only that, we have the green border, we have a green rectangle shape in the bottom right hand corner. So that right there is our field handle. So to activate it, we're going to place as you can see, our current cursor looks like a white cross. So what we're going to do, we're going to place our cursor on the bottom right hand corner until it turns into a black cross or a black plus sign. So as you can see, I place my cursor there and it turns into a black plus sign. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold down the left click and we're going to drag it all the way down to A14. So as you can see, I'm doing that. And as you can see, as we're dragging down, we have what is called a screen tip. So it's showing us what our field should look like. So again, once I arrive at the ending cell reference, all I have to do is just let go of my left click, and as I do, as you can see, it automatically filled what was in the established cell reference all the way down to A14. So again, we're just dealing, for this particular cell reference, we have text label in this particular reference. But let's see how it looks when we have a number to see what it does. Now, with the use of as I mentioned, one of the reasons why we want to use the field handle is because we don't want to necessarily have to keep typing in the next consecutive number. So again, so instead of me typing in 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all the way down, I can use my field handle, and it should be able to do that for me. So again, we're going to click in the established cell, which is B1, and then we're going to use our field handle to drag down. So then I'm going to go to the bottom right hand corner until it turns into a black plus sign. I'm going to hold down my left click and I'm going to drag down, and we're going to stop at A14. But as you can see, it didn't fill in the series, it just copied the number. So to fix this, as I mentioned, we have what is called the auto fill option, which is at the bottom. It's next to our field handle. So then, as you can see, it's here right here. And as you can see, there is a drop down arrow. So we're going to click on the arrow, because the reason why we do that because we want to see more options. So then I click on it. As you can see, we have copy cells, we have fill series, fill formatting only, fill without formatting, and flash fill. So in this example, we're going to use fill series because we don't want the information copied, but we want to fill in the series. So when I click on field series, as you can see, it started out with 1, then it went to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. So it did fill the series. Now let's look at the next number. So as you can see, we, chronologically in order, we started out 1, of course, 2, 3, 4. But it doesn't matter where we start with a particular number. And if we use our field handle, we're going to go down. And as you can see, the screen tip. So as you can see, it copied the number. But say, for instance, I wanted my series, of course, to start at 23, but I want to continue on from 23 to 24 and so forth. So again, I go to my drop-down arrow, click on field series. So it didn't reset the numbers. It just continued on from 23, 24, 25, 26, all the way down to 36. Now, so say for instance, we want to establish some type of pattern. So as you can see, when we look at these two set of numbers, we have a pattern. The numbers are going from 45 to 50. So we're going from an increment of 5. So again, so not only do we want to fill the series, but we want the series to be an increment of 5. So again, what we do is we highlight both the numbers so Excel can recognize as an established pattern, which again, we established that it should go an increment of 5. So again, we highlight both cell references, and then we're going to use our field handle to scroll down and stop at D14. So again, I'm going to grab the bottom right-hand corner of the cell references and hold down the left click and drag down. And as you can see, the screen tip is showing us what we should see. Then when we get to D14, we just let go. And as you can see, we have an established pattern of increments of 5. So we start from 45 to 50, 50 to 55, 55 to 60, 60 to 65, 65 to 70, 70 to 75, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 95, 95 to 100, and 105 to 110. So we establish a pattern of increasing by 5. Now let's see this next set of numbers. As you can see, if we highlight and analyze these two cell references, we see that we're going descending order by 3. So again, that's our established pattern, and we want to, once we finish, that every number should be decreased by 3. So again, I highlight the range of cells so Excel knows which pattern that I want to look at and establish. Grab my field handle, drag down, and stop at E14, let go. And as you can see, it's creating a pattern of going down by 3 until we stop at E14. Now let's look at text with a number. So as you can see in this example, we have text with a number. We have Kim1. So so let's see what we do when we use our field handle in this example. Again, I highlight my cell reference, place my cursor to the bottom right-hand corner, hold down the left click and drag down. And as you can see, the screen tip is showing us what it should look like. And once we stop, we filled our series. So as you can see, it kept the text the same, but it changed the number, so we increased by 1. Now, I want to show you another feature about the auto fill option. So as you can see, it not only did it created the pattern, but it also kept the formatting, which means, as you can see, my background colors gold or yellow, whichever color that you want, and then it has bold. So then, say for instance, I didn't want to keep that pattern, so again, I just go down to my fill option, and I go to fill without formatting. So as you can see, it removed the coloring, the background coloring, and but it still kept my pattern, my series. So let's look at the number before the actual text, so we'll see if we see any difference. So again, I hold down my left click, I place my cursor at the bottom right hand corner, hold down the left click, drag down, and we stop at G14, let go. So as you can see, it kept the text, but what it did was it increased the number each time in uh, each cell. So let's look at going horizontal or going across. So as you can see, we have an established cell reference, information data in our cell reference, which is text. So then again, same concept. We select the cell reference, in this case A1, and then we go to the bottom right hand corner until it turns into the black plus sign. Hold down the left click and drag across, and as you can see, we still see our screen tip. And then I'm going to stop in J1 and then let go, and as you can see, it automatically fills based upon our cell reference. So let's go to cell reference A2. So then we select that cell reference, hold down left, place our cursor to the bottom right hand corner, hold down the left click and drag across, and as we can see the screen tip showing us the answer. Then once we let go, as you can see, it kept the text same, but it increased the number by 1. So now let's select a group of cell reference, and as we can see, we have an established pattern. We have the text being the same, but we have an increment of 2 with the numbers. So let's use our fill handle to see what happens. So as you can see, based upon the resulting fill handle, the auto fill, it kept the text the same, but it increased the number by 2 because again, that's what our established cell reference, our established pattern was. The number increased by 2, but we keep the text the same. So again, let's use our fill handle going across horizontally, using a number only. So again, we hold down left click, drag across, let go to the, and just copy the cell. But again, if we wanted to fill this particular series, so then we'll go to our autofill option, left click on the arrow, click on fill series, and as you can see, it filled the series, went from copying just one across to copying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, we can start anywhere in our numbers and use our fill handle. Again, it's going to, as we go across, it copies the established information in our cell reference. But again, we want to complete a series, so then we use the left click to click on the arrow for the autofill option, click on fill series, and there you go. So it started from 7. It didn't reset. It just started from 78. It went from 78 to 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87. Now again, let's do an established pattern. So again, so I'm going to select these 2 cell references, and as you can see, based upon the pattern, we're going to increment of 4. So basically, once we use our fill handle, all the numbers should be increased by 4. So let's see. So as you can see, we can just click on any cell to deselect it. So as you can see, an increment of 4 is occurring in all our cell references. And based upon these 2 cell references, we have a pattern of decreasing by 3. So again, let's use our fill handle to copy the rest of the cells all the way to J7. And as you can see, we're going down. We're descending, by 5. I'm sorry, I said 3, but we're going by descending by 5. So again, we're going by decreasing by 5 in each of the cells. Now let's look at our multiple fields. Basically, we're doing the same thing, but instead of just doing one at a time, we can do multiple ranges at one time. So as you can see, when we look at these 2 sets of numbers, the established pattern is we're decreasing by 2. When you look at these 2 cell references, we're increasing by 5. And when you look at these 2 cell references, we're just pretty much copying. So again, to use our fill handle So again, instead of doing one by one, we're going to do them all at the same time. So what we're going to do is going to highlight these particular range of cells, so the cell knows that, okay, so when we use the fill handle going down, it should keep the same pattern and just fill in the rest. So again, I highlight my range of cells, which I've done. Go to my bottom right hand corner until it turns into the black plus sign. Hold down my left click and drag down. And we're going to stop right there and we're going to let go. And then we just can click anywhere, any cell, just to unhighlight the range of cells that we selected. And as you can see, it did keep the pattern. So we're going down by 2. We're decreasing by 2 until we stop. And as you can see, we're increasing by 5. So it's doing that, increasing by 5. And it's just basically copying what was in these two particular ranges of cells. So now let's look at our special fields. Now, as you can tell that based upon our numbers, we're pretty much, if we just keep on going down, we're probably, just infinite amount of numbers. But as you can see, dealing with their special fields like months of the year, days of the week, quarter one, first, second, third, and dates, then there's an end pattern. So again, so let's see what happens if we were just to keep on. So again, as you know, there's only 12 months of the year. So what it's going to do after it goes from after December? So what should happen? So let's see. So we click in our established cell reference, which is A1, and then we're going to go to the bottom right hand corner, drag down, keep on going down. As you can see, the fill handle, we're going to stop right here. So as you can see, Excel recognized the established cell reference as a month of a year. So again, as we know, there are only 12 months, and then instead of it creating some obscene month of the year, what it does, as you can see, it just starts over. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and it resets itself to January, February, March, April, May, and so forth if we were to keep on dragging down. And the same thing would happen if we just use the abbreviation of the month. So we use our fill handle to drag down. And we'll stop right here. So as you can see, it understands the pattern of the month and is abbreviated. So again, it's still going down January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, restarts with January, February, March, April, May, and it just keeps the abbreviation. Same thing with the days of the week. As we know, there's only 7 days of the week. We can use our fill handle to drag down, and it will automatically populate the days of the week for us. And as we know, based upon what we see with the months of the year, it should do the same thing with the days of the week. It should just reset instead of creating some obscene day of the week. So I use our fill handle to drag down. And as you can see, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Starts over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So again, it just resets itself. And same thing as we do the abbreviation for days of the week. And it understands the pattern and it just keeps on going down and eventually it resets itself. Now also with the autofill option, we have categories different. Not only do we have the same categories for us copying the cells, but we have, we do the fill series, we have the fill formatting only, fill without formatting, fill days, and fill weekdays. So say for instance, what if I wanted just to have all the days of the week but no weekends? So if I click on the fill weekdays, so as you can see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no Saturday, no Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, no weekend. So it creates just the week without the weekends. And if I undo this, so I want to show you something else as well. So again, we use our fill handle to drag down. Then let go. So what if I just wanted the particular cell range references that I've used? What if I just wanted only to copy what was in my original cell? So again, I go down to our autofill handle and then just click copy cells. So as you can see, the established cell reference was Monday abbreviated, and it's copied down all the way down to my last range. So again, that's using the autofill option. It's very handy, very user friendly. So now let's look at the next one, quarter one. Now, based upon our other example, when we said when we use text, it should stay the same because they understand, and then also should keep the number, and then the number should be increasing infinitely till we stop at a particular cell reference. But let's see if the same thing happens dealing with quarter one. So again, we select our cell reference, which is E1. We use our fill handler to fill down. So we'll stop right here. But as you can see, if you notice something, we have quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. But you should think, based upon what we were doing in the previous example, it should say quarter 5, quarter 6, quarter 7. But because of that particular special field, Excel understands we're dealing with quarters, and there's only 4 quarters. So instead of doing quarter 5, quarter 6, and so forth, it resets itself to quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Reset again, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So again, when you're dealing with quarters, Excel recognizes that it's just not just any old type of text. It's a special text, so it's dealing with quarters. Same thing if we're abbreviated. Select this particular cell reference, use our fill handle, and as you can see, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and we'll think Q5, Q6, and so forth, but it resets itself Q1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So let's look at first. So it should create so let's see how this fill handle will affect this particular type of text. So use our fill handle to drag down. And as you can see, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth, and so forth. And as you can see, Excel recognized that particular type of text that we should be using first. So you're not going to see second, number 2 ST. You're not going to see 3 ST, but we understand that it should be second, third, fourth, fifth, and so forth. Now let's see how the fill handle affects a particular date of year. So as you can see, we have established November 27, 2015. And if we use our fill handle to drag down, stop right here. As you can see, we have 27, 28, 29, 30. And again, that's not going to be November 31st. But what it does is it recognizes that it's a date. So it's going to start with the next established date, which is December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so forth. So again, and as you can see with these two particular cell references, we have an established pattern that is going from January 7th, 2016 to January 9th, 2016. So I established pattern that is every 2 days. So again, we have to select the particular range of cells so Excel can understand there's a pattern that started, and let's use our fill handle to fill down. As you can see, the screen tip, and then we're going to let go right here. And as you can see, it's skipping every 2 days because it recognized the established pattern that we had at first. So again, every 2 days is showing it in these particular cells. Now let's look at functions. And basically, a function is just, if you didn't know about Excel, Excel is just a big giant calculator. Allows you to add, multiply, divide. use algebra functions, things of that nature. So we're going to use the field handle to complete a function. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to create a function to add the numbers in this particular cell range going from left to right. So we're going to take the number that's in cell B3, we're going to add the number that's in cell C3, and then we're going to add the number in D3, and we're going to place our answer in cell E3. So anytime that we're dealing with a function or formula, we have to start off with the equal sign, because that lets Excel know that we're dealing with a function or formula. So several ways we can do this. Start with the equal sign, then we just click in the cell that we're going to add. So I'm just going to start with cell B3. Now, if you can't really see this particular text in this cell, you can also see it in the formula bar right here as well. So again, there's no spaces, so we're going to say C equals C3 plus cell reference C3. And also I can manually type in the cell reference that I want. So again, I'm going to place the plus sign, then I'm going to manually type in B3. And as you can see, all three cells are highlighted. Let me know that that's the reference that we're going to use in our formula. So now that we established that, we can either hit enter on our keyboard, or we can hit enter right here on our formula bar. So again, I'm going to use this option. So when I click it, will confirm that the sum of the numbers in these three particular cells is equal to 160. Now, instead of repeating that process, we can use the field handle to do the same thing. So we know, based upon what we just did, what should happen, the resulting answer should be the sum of this particular cell, this particular cell, this particular cell, and our answer should end up right here. So let's just manually talk it out. So we should say equal cell reference B4 plus C4 plus D4, and it should end up in E4. Same thing for the rest of these particular rows of cells that we have. So again, let's use our field handle to just do this in a faster manner. So again, I select my established cell reference or established pattern, go to the bottom right hand corner to return to the black cross, hold down the left click and drag down and let go. And as you can see, we have numbers populated in each individual cells. And to see all these formulas at one time, I'm going to go to our formulas tab, our formula auditing group, and we're going to click on show formulas button. And as you can see, it shows you our formula that's in each cell. So as you can see, this was our established cell, B3 plus C3 plus D3. Again, as you see, it says equal B4 plus C4 plus D4. Again, B4 plus C4 plus D4, and so forth. B5 plus C5 plus D5. Same thing, B6 plus C6 plus D6. So as you can see, we have established pattern, and instead of manually typing it in, we use our field handle to do that for us. So it saves us a lot of time and effort. So let me re-click it again so we can hide the formula. So now let's do the same formula going. So we went from going, vertically, let's go horizontally going across. So again, there's another way we can actually so again, we want to add these numbers in this particular range of cells right here and place our answer here. So instead of us actually manually typing in, we have a special feature that's called AutoSum, which is located on our Home tab in our editing group, and we have our AutoSum button right here. And as you can see, there's an arrow. So again, we click on the arrow because there's more options. So we're going to click on our sum. And with the AutoSum feature, Excel automatically assumes what range of numbers that we want to add. We can always re-choose whatever we want. So, but again, this example, this was the range that we want. And then I'm going to hit enter on my formula bar to confirm. So the sum from range B3 all the way down to B9 is 395. And as you can see, although it's showing the resulting answer, you can also see the actual formula in your formula bar. So again, instead of me having to repeat that process, I can use the fill handle to just copy and paste. And it should recognize the pattern that we're going to keep the same. We're going to have different columns, but we're going to have different rows. Different columns, but the same row numbers. So again, let's use our fill handle. Drag across, let go, and as you can see, it populates the answer. So again, let's use our show formula method so we can see. And I'm going to click on the cell just to unselect it. So as you can see, based upon the formula in there, we have equal sum, parentheses, B3 colon B9. So again, but when we look at the second one, we have equal sum, open parentheses, C3 colon C9. And if we look at the last one, we have equal sum, open parentheses, D3 colon D9. So as you can see, the column is changing because this went from B to C, C to D, but our row range stayed the same. So we're still sticking with row numbers 3 through 9. So 3 right here, 9 right here, 3 right here, 9 right here, 3 right here, and 9 right here. So as you can see, the fill handle option does save you a lot of time, especially when you're dealing with a large range of data. It just helps you to not have to manually type in the formula. So again, I'm going to hit the show formula button to remove, to not show it again. So as you can see, just to recap, the fill handle method is a very time-saving method. As I stated, my name is Sean Perriman. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on fill handle. If you have any questions, please leave your comments or concern in the box below. And also, you can email me at computertrainme@yahoo.com. And increase the size on that so you can actually see it, bold it, increase it. So not only do I teach make instructional videos for Excel, I do make it for Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Access. And if there's a particular lesson that you want to learn, please inbox me, and I'll be happy to create a tutorial for you. And also, I will leave a copy of this particular worksheet so you can work on it, so you can practice, and also you can create your own type of data as well, so you can just get the hang of it. Then also, lastly, if you decide that you want to have to go more in depth, or you want somebody that you would like to learn this, just please let me know. And also, if your employer may be interested of teaching your co-workers this particular lesson, give them an update on it, I'll be happy to make an appointment, so just let me know. And thank you, and have a good day.